Hi there, friends. Welcome to another great weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. So glad you're here today for today's lineup of inspiring features. Sit back and relax. It unfolds after this quick message.
Every Jamaican has the right to know what is happening in Parliament, to know when new laws are being passed, and to give their opinions on legislation before either house.
Every Jamaican has the right to see their representatives in action, making laws, holding the executive to account, representing the people, working for the benefit of all Jamaicans.
It is your right to observe first-hand meetings of the Senate, meetings of the House of Representatives, and the meetings of parliamentary committees. You may also take a tour of your parliament.
To find out more about the Houses of Parliament, please call 876-922-0200, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or visit our website at www.japarliament.gov.jm.
Our first stop isn't in the classroom, but there's a connection, or rather, there's a connection to those who lead classes. I'm talking, of course, about our teachers, but today it's about them learning to manage their money and achieve financial stability.
Bills paid, but still broke? Sounds like the makings of a major financial problem. But there's still time to get ahead of it and get your finances in order. Working out a personalized financial plan can put you on the path to stability. By developing and maintaining responsible financial practices, you could be well on your way to building a solid foundation for wealth creation. Wealth creation is a learned skill, and what better place to facilitate financial knowledge than the classroom? This is true not just for our students, but also for our teachers.
The first value is about the number itself.
We're committed to the continued improvement of the education sector and look forward to the completion of the very massive task the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service has taken on regarding compensation review.
While that is in motion, the Ministry of Education and Youth has moved forward to supporting our education builders by giving them the tools to build wealth. The ministry has teamed up with stakeholders such as Profit Jumpstarter, a boutique organization that offers investing education. The partnership is offering the teachers online courses in money management to enable them to achieve their own goals while generating financial stability.
Teaching persons around investing.
CEO of Profit Jumpstarter and investment educator Keisha Bailey says planning to invest should be a part of plans for creating wealth.
I believe that investing is a long-term strategy and that it is possible to work to create the millionaire lifestyle or the billionaire lifestyle for anyone. You just need to understand some simple concepts around investing to make the moves for yourself in your own financial life.
Putting even $100 or $1,000 each month to your investing portfolio will put you in a better place financially.
In terms of thinking that I'm not making enough, we have to expand our mindset into abundance, because you have enough for right now, and we're going to take what you have right now, that money you have now, and turn it into the money you want.
And so, one of the first steps in wealth creation is to know your money so you can grow your money.
So budgeting is extremely important. Put pen to paper, write down all the money coming in, write down all the money coming out. For every dollar that comes into your pocket or your bank account, 50% should be spent on your needs, 30% should be spent on wants, which are, the niceness of life, and then 20% should be put towards saving and investing.
Next, create an emergency fund.
So I teach persons to have around 3 to 6 months of their expenses tucked away in an emergency fund account so that you have that money available to you when you need it. When you understand exactly the type of investment you should have for you, and how to regularly contribute to your investment account, you're going to see that you build wealth really, really fast, because investments are how you build wealth. Again, it's the regular and consistent contributions that are going to push you to build wealth faster. Start investing. I cannot stress that enough, the importance and how critical it is to be an investor.
Educators, the time is now. Whatever age or stage, investing is critical to your financial welfare.
How many more must die because of reckless drivers? How fast is too fast? Make we take time, no man. Obey the rules of the road. Drive with care.
As a society, we must take care to look out for each other, particularly our children. Up next, we learn about a collaboration among stakeholders to promote their safety along the nation's roadways.
Extracurricular activities or clubs have always been a nicely added dynamic to our education system, structured on the idea of creating well-rounded portfolios, personal development, meeting more and diverse peers, and improving communication skills for students. Now, with innovation and a goal for creating more focused road users, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund is revolutionizing the idea of school clubs. JSIF is creating a first of its kind for us here in Jamaica. JSIF has teamed up with the Ministry of Education and Youth, the Ministry of Transport's Road Safety Unit, municipal corporations, the Community Development Committee, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch to form the Safe Passage Safe Routes to School Road Safety Clubs. It's about to make traveling for children much safer through public education.
I'm pleased that this social network was formed as a follow-up to a prior Safe Passages project, which aims to provide a safe environment for students as they traverse specific roadways and thoroughfares in the vicinity of selected school campuses. It was designed, among other things, to provide a safe environment for students as they travel to and from school in certain targeted communities.
The Road Safety Club is an important software, I will call it. So beyond the hardware, the road safety clubs are designed to provide the sustainability to the infrastructure that has been provided. And it works by increasing the capacity of the teachers, parents, the awareness of the members of the JCF, and other persons who are in charge of keeping the roads safe.
The infrastructure that was provided under government's $155 million Integrated Community Development Safe Passages project contains several components that make it easier for children to navigate the streets.
The Safe Passages project contains several components, including the rehabilitation or construction of infrastructure such as sidewalks, bus bays, guardrails, painting of murals, installation of road safety signs, as well as the implementation of comprehensive public education and road safety program that will engage school staff, students, and residents from the beneficiary communities. And finally, to ensure that this is sustained, the formation of the road safety clubs, which we are launching in a very special and significant way today.
The clubs are being set up in an initial 7 primary and infant schools across the country, namely Augustown, Bickersteth, Greenwich Primary, Hope Valley Experimental, Roehampton, Salt Spring, and Treadlight. At the core is the support from those monitoring traffic on our roadways daily.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force have had a long history of working together with schools and the children in terms of educating and of course providing information in terms of how best we can take care of ourselves, that especially the children that have to traverse the various roadways. This particular program, which is the Safe Passage Road Safety Club program that has been launched by JSIF, the JSIF lauds the effort because what we believe is that a kind of holistic approach to safety of our children and of course the entire commuting public, it will make a big difference.
But what really sparked the development of this new initiative?
In terms of global statistics, too many of our children are suffering from fatally or other injuries. Many of these injuries and deaths occur in low and middle income countries, such as Jamaica. Furthermore, a large proportion of this figure is made up of children, particularly child pedestrians. Statistics from the Road Safety Unit reveal that in 2021, 487 road fatalities, with 69% were the most vulnerable groups of road users: pedestrians, motorcyclists, and children.
And to create further context for the need for these clubs, with less than 3 months into the year,
a 12-year-old boy died on the nation's road. As a result, he died as a result of injuries he sustained when he was hit by a motorist along the roadway in his community. Of Lilliput in St. James. He was crossing the road and didn't make it home.
And as government seeks to do its part to protect children using the roadways.
And now that we have returned to full face-to-face teaching and learning in our schools, we will begin to see the impact of this project. I expect that this valuable initiative that has been undertaken by JSIP will continue to have a life-saving effect on residents of the beneficiary communities for years to come. Learning to be safe on the roads is a lifelong process.
We urge you to do your part to drive, ride, and walk with care while looking out for the nation's children.
This mayhem can only be stopped through behavioral change and discipline. We have a duty to our children to preserve them on the roads, at school, in our homes. This especially as we adjust to the return of full face-to-face classes.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal.
How we treat our environment can either lead to positive or negative impacts on our lives. Come with us on this voyage as we explore a collaboration to protect our rainforest and freshwater tributaries for the benefits they provide to the environment and people's livelihoods.
Spectacular views of the Blue Mountains, the cradle for the Wadwater River watershed, one of Jamaica's 26 watersheds, and the source of 40% of the water for the Kingston metropolitan area. Fresh water rolls from these hills to the valley, supplying one of Jamaica's longest rivers, the White River, flowing for 27 kilometers past bamboo groves and lush vegetation, crossing the boundary lines of the northeastern parishes of St. Anne and St. Mary, to empty into the Ocho Rios Fish Sanctuary and into the Caribbean Sea. Jamaican path from hills to ocean. This is a story of a remarkable project to increase Jamaica's resilience to climate change by sustaining our watersheds, our coastlines, our land and marine resources, while empowering more Jamaicans with the required knowledge and awareness to secure their livelihoods in these spaces. The Hills to Ocean project is funded by the European Union Global Climate Change Alliance Plus in partnership with the Government of Jamaica to the tune of €6 million over 5 years. The project will implement integrated and sustainable landscape and coastal management interventions to tackle the thorny challenges of declining ecosystems, biodiversity loss, land degradation, and the vagaries of climate change affecting vulnerable communities in Jamaica.
The project intends to stop erosion in selected watersheds to reduce degradation of important terrestrial habitats, sedimentation of the marine space, loss of soil productivity, and pollution of the rivers and streams for improper waste management. The restorative activities are therefore designed towards building climate resilience and transforming managing capabilities within affected ecosystems and communities.
In the lower reaches of the watershed, the flow of the Wagwater River has slowed to a trickle in parts of the picturesque Castleton Botanical Gardens. For Oswald Eyre, a long-time resident of the Wagwater Valley and president of a local NGO working with 17 communities, the Hills to Ocean project is a welcomed addition to the ongoing efforts to restore the watershed.
These are two big resources, Castleton Gardens and the Wagwater and its tributaries. In the early days, the Wagwater was most important for fishing, for recreation, for training everybody on the banks of the Wagwater, some 17 to 18,000 persons. By age 10 or so, they will be able to swim. There was a section of the river that we call Deep Hole, very deep, and it retained water. And when rainfall is low, those deep holes will gradually feed the stream with water. And by the time they are exhausted, rain would come again and refill them. All that is gone today.
The Hills to Ocean project will directly benefit Castleton Gardens and many other communities and residents who make their livelihood from key economic sectors like agriculture and tourism. There are 3 targeted watershed management units under the project: the Wagwater WMU, including Castleton Gardens, the Rio Nuevo WMU in St. Mary, and the Rio Bueno White River WMU in St. Anne and Trelawney. The project will also focus on wetland ecosystems at Winsmorass on the coast of Falmouth, Trelawney, and farther inland at the Mason River Protected Area at the border of St. Anne and Clarendon, a Ramsar site known for its rich biodiversity. The Hills to Ocean project will also assess the health and distribution of seagrass beds in the Ocho Marine Park Protected Area and at the Helsha Bay and Half Moon Bay Portland Bight Protected Area in St. Catherine and Clarendon. From hills to ocean, the downstream effect of pollution and indiscriminate dumping of solid waste in the White River pose real threats and challenges for Ocho Rios, once a sleepy fishing village, now a bustling town with vibrant tourism and other commercial interests, and the community of fishermen who were there from the beginning. Belinda Collier-Morrow, a diver and chair of the White River Marine Association, which has partnered with the fishermen in the area to run the Ocho Rios Fish Sanctuary, remembers a time when the coral reefs were healthy and the fish were in abundance.
This project will definitely help us because we're totally aligned with what this project is doing. When people clear the lands, that's also coming into the river and smothering and getting out to sea, smothering the corals. And you see the river turns brown. You can see it goes for miles out to sea when we've had a big rain. So this project will work to address things like that. Better farming practices that will affect the river. That will in turn affect what we're doing out there.
I think the Hills to Ocean is a great platform for us to really get information about how serious this is, because we, as the White River Fish Sanctuary, as a local community-based group, we can only do so much.
Working in the sanctuary, it's an eye-opening, but it teaches us to care, the bad habits and, the do and the don'ts,
If people have an understanding of what their actions do and why it matters, I think that is what is going to make a difference.
The Planning Institute of Jamaica is the executing agency of this high-level Hills to Ocean project. A core project management unit collaborates and coordinates daily with technical experts from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, and the Public Gardens Division, and from NEPA, the National Environment and Planning Agency.
The implementation of this project is a direct investment in data collection and research and will strengthen the technical capacity of the National Environment and Planning Agency, ultimately bolstering its monitoring and early warning capabilities. Together, let us join hands and hearts to manage and protect Jamaica's land, wood, air, and water.
Given the new national campaign by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to grow smart and eat smart, we look forward to the new possibilities presented under this project to teach new techniques, build resilience, and strengthen our island nation. RADA aims through the promotion of integrated and sustainable land management practices as well as direct transfer of knowledge to achieve these goals.
The Hills to Ocean project was developed through partnership and collaboration. The direct project beneficiaries are members of the communities in the 3 named WMUs, but the entire Jamaican population will benefit from its outcomes. The PIOJ looks forward to continued collaboration with residents, the European Union, and state partners in making this project a success.
We value and appreciate the cooperation with Jamaica regarding this project, as it will allow us to further progress on the joint fight on climate change. Jamaica has proven to be a pioneer in the region regarding the subject, and we are very happy to see that actions are taking place every day to improve the life of Jamaicans, as well as of all those sharing this planet, since climate change doesn't stop at national borders.
We tend in Jamaica to get caught in debates that don't pay enough attention to the facts of the situation, to the realities of the situation. Technology changes everything. And as we progress and as we develop technology, it is the nations that develop technology, but more importantly, the nations that own technology, that own the future. For me, this is a big thing, to stand on the grounds of a former sugar plantation and say, we are going to build a technology school to produce the people of Jamaica who will not just be consumers of technology, but will become producers of technology, because that is the true liberation of our people.
Fishing
The simple act of casting a line with a bait in the hopes of catching a nibble from a fish has been an essential aspect of human civilization since hunter-gatherer times and is one of the few food production activities that have survived from prehistory to modern day. Today, it has evolved to become yet another source of income for many, including our own fisherfolk. But how is fisheries regulated? Enter Jamaica's National Fisheries Authority NFA, an agency under the umbrella of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. The NFA is entrusted with overseeing, regulating, and preserving the fisheries industry while working to improve the fishermen's fishing experiences and incomes. A critical focus area of the NFA has been aquaculture. This is the breeding, growing, and harvesting of fish, shellfish, and aquatic plants, or the act of farming in water. This means our tilapia and oyster farmers are at the heart of Jamaica's aquaculture practice. In addition to regulating the sector and providing support, the NFA has also taken on the task of educating and encouraging Jamaicans about the benefits of tilapia farming as another approach to boosting local fish production and reducing stress on reef fish.
The reef fish, that is fish caught in the reefs in and around the Jamaica's shoreline, that population is decreasing. And our fishermen will tell you that when they go out, they have to go further and further out to get a decent crop of fish to sustain themselves. Tilapia has been grown in Jamaica since the 1940s. Its fortunes have ebbed and waned with time. And so here we are now trying to promote it, to push it, to get people to not only eat it, but to get people to also produce it.
As a result, the National Fisheries Authority has begun to employ different creative approaches to increase tilapia production and consumption. The upcoming cooking competition is one of those approaches which aims to highlight the different ways tilapia can be enjoyed. While the NFA continues working to expand aquaculture, effort is also being made to revitalize reef fishing. An initiative to train fishermen for pelagic or deep-sea fishing is part of that drive. A technique in which a fish aggregation device, FAD, is strategically placed to attract pelagic fish, allowing fishermen to fish beyond reefs, is also being explored as a more cost-effective method. The creation of fish sanctuaries has also been essential to the sustainability of our reef fish. Fish sanctuaries are no-fishing zones developed to conserve the bay's breeding grounds and fish habitats while progressively increasing the fish population in the neighboring regions.
We are seeking to develop production of shrimp, production of oysters, production of sea moss, or Irish moss as we call it here in Jamaica. And so there is a huge development towards the aquaculture industry because, as I said, the sea product is declining. Aquaculture is the saving grace, if you will, of Jamaica's fisheries endeavors because it has so much potential for growth and development.
And not only will aquaculture contribute to the improvement of fish habitats and the rebuilding of stocks of threatened or endangered species, it will also assist to feed the nation today and for the foreseeable future.
And this is where we end today's journey inside Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us tomorrow for another show. Until then, there is more to watch by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care and walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.